Hi all, welcome back. This is Bill Bernhard, and today we are resuming our series in the 4 pillars to run a world-class PMO. In the last video, we looked at the project intake process and life cycle, and now we're going to imagine that the project going through that process has been approved and is ready for execution by the project manager. So what we're going to be looking at today are 2 pillars, actually. We're going to be looking at the project management framework that the PMs will be using to run and manage projects. And we're going to be looking at the interrelationship to that to the aggregated portfolio roll-up. Now, the beauty of that portfolio roll-up, it is completely automated, completely hands-free. As the PM is running the project management framework and updating the status of the project and everything else, it is sending information out automatically to the portfolio roll-up so that at any given moment, the consumer of the portfolio dashboard can get real-time updates as to every project in the portfolio. So the idea here, and we're looking at effectively a packet. First and foremost, what you're doing by implementing a system like this is creating a consistent, repeatable experience for all project managers running all projects in a portfolio. One of the great challenges that people have interacting with PMOs and project managers is that, and you hear this time and again, all of the PMs do things a little bit differently. It makes it hard, it makes it exhausting, particularly if you're a stakeholder on multiple projects, because one PMO has his meeting notes over here and does status this way, another one does it a completely different way, etc. And also, when everyone is doing it separately and in a different way, it's very, very hard to aggregate that up in a consistent way and have all of the information across the portfolio at your fingertips. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at this consistent, repeatable project management framework process and how it neatly, automatically, and in real time rolls up to an aggregated portfolio view. All right, so let's look. So if you imagine, let's say, for example, we have 32 projects in our portfolio. Each of the PMs will be running their project through a packet that is just like this. It's just a consistent, you don't want to necessarily think of it as a cookie cutter because there's plenty of flexibility for the individual types of attributes that go into managing a particular process, but it's cookie cutter in the sense that it's all the same sheets. There's a project plan and there's a control log or a risk log. There's a roles matrix, a weekly status update. There's budget sheets to track, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Consistent, repeatable process. So let's go through that process. Starting at the end, what you get with this project management lifecycle system is an automated, real-time updating project dashboard. How much time do project managers spend running and updating their status reports? Too much. Takes away from their ability to manage the projects. That's what they should be doing. They shouldn't be administrating all the time. They should be out there managing. Well, using this framework, updating the project plan, updating the risk and issue log, updating the key stakeholders sheets, it is just real-time generating out this project dashboard or project status report, because that's effectively how it gets used. So you have basically just kind of zipping through it. You have key stakeholders, you have all the budget information, you have some high-level metrics, start and end date, health, etc. You have an ability to provide a prose, just quick update as to what happened this week if it's a weekly cadence that you're in. Really nice feature here. You can pull directly out of the project plan some Gantt milestones and some key accomplishments and next steps. And then finally, you can have tasks and impediments, sort of a traditional RAID log, and some key decisions that may come out of the project. This is output only. The PMs, again, don't have to put any sort of input into their automatically generating dashboard / status report. The way that this stuff updates is they just effectively work the sheets in the framework. So let's go back and take a look at that. So pretty simple. It's just a work plan or a project plan. And let's start with that one. If you remember from looking at the dashboard, we had things like recent accomplishments and next steps. as well as milestones. So effectively, what a PM can do to just give a quick update on that dashboard, right? Let's say in the following week, maybe they accomplish these tasks, okay? So we're gonna say, okay, from my status report, I'm gonna send these 3 things up because that's what I did this week. And my intention for next week is to do these 3 things. If we do that, okay, and then we go back out to our project dashboard, guess what? I go down here. Think about how much of a time saver that is for the PM in terms of administration. And again, multiply that out across your entire PMO, right? You now have 30 PMs that are able to update accomplishments and next steps that easily. Let's take a look at tasks and impediments, all right? So let's say we have a big problem somewhere out there, and we are going to go into our control log. A lot of people call this a RAID log or risks and issue log. Let's create another one. So we have a big impediment. I'm going to give this a red status because it's quite serious and urgent. We're going to just say serious issue that requires immediate resolution. And then you can date it. Just for brevity, I won't do that. And then you could say, I'm going to report this up on the dashboard, right? And maybe these I'm not going to report. Now, when I go to my dashboard, there it is in bright lights, okay? Real-time, automatically updating. The project managers work the sheets. You're creating that consistent, repeatable, branded experience and the like. Budget reports. Won't go through too many details here, but if this is a labor-only project, you can enter the baseline budget, all kinds of updating and real reporting. So if you, for whatever reason, need to track hours, and you say, okay, well, maybe in this given week I consumed 40 hours, it's updating the cost, it's generating updates in real time out to the project dashboard, it's updating the budget information, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's talk now a little bit about how this interplays with the portfolio dashboard as we touched on at the beginning of this video. As the project managers are, again, working their sheets, working their packet for their specific project, behind the scenes automatically, it's sending information out to the aggregated portfolio. So this is an example portfolio where we have 26 active projects. We're not doing too hot, it looks like. We've got 12 that are in red status, 7 yellow, 7 green. There are reports that you can create to make these graphs interactive. So for example, I can drill into this and I can get information, okay, and then you see here I'm grouping by health. So okay, this is my red, yellow, and green. Now notice here I have a hyperlink going into the project that we've been working, right? So I can say, oh, this is one I want to know a little bit more about. Well, I can do that. I can link right into that, and guess what? That's going to take me back to that project dashboard, and I can dive in and get a little bit more information about that project. Going back to the portfolio roll-up, things like aggregated budgets, right, for all the projects, you can run things like that. You can break down the data in different ways. You can say, all right, well, I've got, this many, looks like 10 projects that are in the planning stage. I'm doing a stacked bar here, 4 of which are green, 3 yellow, etc. If I want to break it out and tell me, who's doing what by PM, I can do that as well. And then same thing, I can get a quick glance view of red, yellow, and green. I can get different aggregated financials based on the different projects. And then we do things like automatically group the projects based on health with a little bit more detail, budget, start and finish date, etc. This feature here is some conditional formatting that we have the ability to support, such that we can get a very bright alert trigger if we're running behind on budget. So if we're nearing completion of budget, you can create a rule that says, if we're within 5,000 or 5 million, whatever it might be, of exceeding the budget, let's start flashing that yellow. And then if we're basically already over budget, red, or whatever the rule that you might have. Great feature here is this active project schedule Gantt. Again, PMs just are working their project, working the project life cycle. They're getting the start and the finish dates, obviously, and they're updating those in real time. What a great view this is. You just can very simply aggregate up and get a Gantt of the entire portfolio. All of this entire dashboard is hands-free. All of the data is coming from the project managers running their project sheets, running their packet in the project management framework. Hands-free, no one touches, real-time aggregated dashboard. So let's just do one quick sort of example demo here, and we're going to look at the project health. So again, we've got 12 projects that are red, and let's say back on our demo project, remember we are in a red status here. Well, let's say things have gotten better and we have now returned to full health. So we're going to change, the PM is going to make a change, right? Back in his packet here for his specific project or her specific project, health is now green. Well, guess what? Now when I go to my project specific dashboard, there it is, green. Awesome. All right, great news. So now when we hit our portfolio dashboard, we notice here, good news, we no longer have 12 red projects, we have 11. And now, wonderful news as well, our demo project that we've been working has jumped down automatically from the red grouping to the green grouping. So that is the relationship between the portfolio aggregation system and the project lifecycle management framework system. Thank you for watching Pillars 2 and 3.